In today's video, I'm going to talk about one of the most common and easiest to make mistakes that candidates make in the interview process. I'm going to talk about what it is, why it's a mistake, and how you can go ahead and avoid it. Now, the mistake I'm talking about today is the vague answer trap. So for an example, if I was interviewing and they said, Ben, how many years experience do you have in recruiting? And I just said 12. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, Ben, why is that a problem? They asked you a very direct question. You gave a very direct answer. That's accurate. Why is it a problem? I'm going to explain now. Now, the first thing I hear hiring managers say to me when they discuss this type of issue, when we're debriefing after interviewing a candidate, is they go, Ben, I asked a bunch of questions and they gave me a bunch of short answers. It was as if they didn't care. So the first reason you want to avoid doing this vague answer trap problem is that if you just say quick responses that are accurate, but you don't extrapolate at all, they're going to assume that you lack passion around the area, you don't care, and that is never a good thing. Now, the other reason you want to avoid it, because sometimes they feel like you lack info, right? If they go, Ben, can you tell me about a time when you did this? And it's very brief, it is short, and you don't give them additional details to back up your example, they're going to assume that the details they seek, they don't exist. So either you didn't do something as impressive as you're describing, or you are making it up. Adding details to back an answer that you say is really important for a few reasons, but the key amongst them are passion and showing that it actually happened and you were involved deeply and you knew what you were doing. Now, the last reason why it matters is if you don't extrapolate on your answer, if you don't give them more context, they might assume you are a poor communicator. And in many roles, whether you're customer facing, whether you're in a leadership role, maybe you're interacting with different departments throughout your organization, poor communication can be a big issue. And you don't want them jumping to that conclusion because a lot of times that's actually inaccurate. You're a strong communicator, but you're just giving them a very straightforward answer. Now let's go back to that first question, right? Let's just say they asked me, Ben, how many years experience you have in recruiting? Instead of just saying 12, it's better to say something like this. Well, that's a really good question. I have 12 years experience in recruiting. I've spent about 4 of it on the corporate side doing corporate recruiting, and the remaining 8 years, I've spent that in agency recruiting, primarily focused in engineering, IT, and operational leadership. Now compare those two answers. Which is better, which inspires more confidence, and which shows you the depth of my experience? Clearly, it is the second one, which is why you want to extrapolate when you get a question like that. Now, what if they ask you a behavioral interview question? Now, a behavioral interview question is any question that starts with, tell me about a time when, or can you give me an example of a time when? Anything that prompts you to reference something in your background, history, or an experience, so that they can listen to how you resolved an issue, how you reacted to something, a behavioral interview question. And anytime you get one of these, you want to use the STAR method. So situation, task, action, result. What it does is it provides you with an easy framework to follow so that you're providing that additional context. So you're not just doing something quick. You're not falling into the vague answer trap, because by using the STAR method, you're actually going to lay out, what was the situation, what was the task you had to perform, what was the specific action you took, and then what was the result. That allows you to give them a more thorough picture of what actually took place. Another reason why it's really important to extrapolate when they ask you a question like this is sometimes they're asking you a question about something that really matters to them, or something that really interests them, or something that they think is paramount to the success in the role. For example, let's just say you're interviewing for a software engineer role, front-end developer, right? And they go, hey, Ben, can you tell me how many years experience do you have coding in Python, or you have coding in Drupal, or whatever it is, right? You could say, I have 5 years experience, but that doesn't do a lot for them. It is so much stronger, and it really reinforces your experience when you say, I've got 5 years experience using this language. One of my favorite projects that I did, I use this language and then you go on and you give them an example. If they're asking you this, it's either key to the role or it's something they're passionate about. And if you just say a number, I just have this many years of experience, you are absolutely missing out on an opportunity to demonstrate that you, like them, are also really interested in the technology and how it can make you better in the role that you're going to be trying to move into. Now, the reality is I gave you a couple quick examples, right? I gave you behavioral interview questions, and I gave you questions where they're asking how many years experience you have in here. But realistically, you can elaborate on all kinds of questions. But I just want you to think about it. I want you to frame these questions differently. When you get an opportunity to answer something, yes, of course, you can answer it with a quick, direct answer. Yes, no, 6. But you give yourself a little bit more ammunition and you show them why you're a good fit if you can extrapolate and tell them about a story, or you can give them an impact that you made using the tool. You just leave stuff on the table. If you just answer directly, vaguely, with a short answer, you are robbing yourself of the opportunity to demonstrate a proficiency with the tool or tell them a little bit about the impact you have made using this tool, program, language, etc. Well, there you have it. That's the video. Again, a quick one, but these little things, just think about it. If you're the candidate who says, I have 6 years experience, is that as powerful as a candidate who says, I have 6 years experience doing this, I did it in this environment, and then I also did it in this environment, which allowed me to blank. Give those extra examples, provide that extra context, and you'll be answering any question like this in a much more powerful way. Good luck in your next interview. You got this.